Hello, I'm Juben with Dana Legal Services, and in today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about how to get the right patent attorney. So a lot of clients come to me, or people come to me who eventually become our client and ask the question, hey, I don't think my patent attorney is the right attorney for me. What do I do? Can I change? How do I do that? So let's go through that. Number one, if you ever want to change your patent attorney, it's easy to do. You just simply find a new patent attorney, they step into the case, they file power of attorney, and you're done. You're not ever obligated to stick with the same patent attorney throughout the whole life of the process. There are advantages to sticking with the same patent attorney, especially if they're the ones who wrote the application, because they have some knowledge that they acquired during the process of writing the application. However, as I've said, you're not obligated to stick with anyone. So number one, the easy thing is you go hire a new patent attorney, you give them power of attorney, they file the power of attorney in the patent application, and they become the new attorney of record and they can take over for you. But more importantly, how do you find the right patent attorney? I mean, after all, if I'm going to pay someone a lot of money, I have to feel like there's a lot of value that they're bringing to the table. How do I interview a patent attorney? How do I find out what they're all about? I've got a bunch of videos on what are the kinds of things you should ask your patent attorney, but let me give you a quick recap here. Number one, does the patent attorney do the work themselves? In other words, do they do it within their firm, or are they the kind of person who becomes a middleman between you and someone in a foreign country that they send the details to, and that person in a foreign country writes it? Or are they farming it out to someone and having that someone write it, and they don't really take any time to look at it or pay attention to it, yet they're the ones who are interfacing with you? So number one thing you should ask your patent attorney is, who's going to do the actual work? Don't be afraid to ask that question. I mean, if you really want to know who your patent attorney is, you should ask, hey, who's going to do the work on this? So number one, find out who's going to be doing the work, whether it's within that firm or it's someone outside the firm, and what the situation is there. The second thing you should always ask your patent attorney, or your patent attorney should ask you, is what is your idea about? And they should spend the time to understand your idea and how you plan to make money from it. The revenue stream that you're protecting with your idea is just as important as the idea itself. If your patent attorney doesn't ask you questions about that, then all they're doing is writing a patent that protects your idea, which is fine if that's all you want to protect. But if you're interested in protecting your idea and your revenue stream, you need to find a patent attorney that will ask you questions about both. And I guarantee you, if you listen to what your patent attorney talked to you about, those of you who are already working with other patent attorneys, and you think back about the time where the attorney was asking you about your invention, I almost guarantee you they did not ask you about your revenue stream. All they cared about was your idea. And again, there are various methods that we use that specifically target protecting your revenue stream. Give us a call. We'll be happy to explain it to you. So number one, does the attorney do the work themselves? Number two, do they ask you about your idea, or do they ask you about your idea and your revenue stream? And number three, which I think is very important, is does the attorney have the background, your patent attorney, do they have the background to understand your area of technology? Like, for example, here at Dana Legal Services, we don't do stuff related to chemical patents because we don't have that kind of background. We don't touch that stuff. We don't do stuff that's pharmaceutical in nature because, again, that's chemical. We deal with electrical patents. We deal with we deal with mechanical patents. So electrical patents, mechanical patents, things that we have a background in and understand. I mean, my personal hobby really aligns itself with mechanical because I understand cars, I work on cars, I do a lot of things related to cars. So when people come talk to me about mechanical things, especially related to cars, I understand right away. I know terminology, I understand terminology, I have the vocabulary of the industry. So, number one, do they do the work themselves? Number two, do they ask about your idea and your revenue stream? And number three, do they have the right kind of background? I mean, it's good to ask your patent attorney about some of the personal interests. But of course, personal interests will almost always lead to having a background in a certain area, familiarity with certain things. Some people may have a personal interest in making knives. So they understand all kinds of things about Scandinavian cut and this kind of edge and that kind of grind, all these different things. Some people won't, and they won't be able to be effective in writing your patent application for you. My name is Juben Dana. I'm with Dana Legal Services. Here's our contact info. Reach out. We have free consultation. Ask us some questions so we can understand your situation. And we're happy to set aside some time to discuss those with you and set out some budgets and a way we can approach things and give you your options. Thank you.